the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts.
And that's facts though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a refloater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only Pope we acknowledge a nigga is Paulo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Game in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father to Isfits, martyr to misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for tech, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts.
Okay. The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts.
It's a movie, it's a movie. Facts, 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 facts.
Yeah, that's that workout music right there. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? You gotta feed that to your Fitbit and see what you get back from that. You dig? You know, I guess at the next 50th anniversary of hip hop, I will be performing that. That's a classic right there. Peace to the family, peace to the family, peace to everybody in the building, peace to the universe. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, your brother Red Pill. This is episode 227. Yes, indeed. Pearl is in the building.
Episode 227. Episode 227. I was looking for my Pearl voice, but I couldn't get it. But yeah, we here, y'all. We in the building.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building. All right. I see the guys in the building. Jefferson in the building. Peace to the God. All right. Peace to the God. Connecticut is in the building. Peace to CT in the building. All right. We got Brooklyn in the building. Okay. Shout out to the fam out there. Dallas, Texas. All right. Shout out to Dallas. Salute to Dallas. Norfolk in the building. Seattle in the building. Maryland in the building. All right. I see you, East Flatbush. Shout out to the East Flatbush Bodman them. All right. KTL Mothership is in the building. Cleveland is checking in. Boston is here. Greenville is pulling up. Nairobi up in this thing. Amsterdam up in this thing. Pittsburgh up in this thing. All right. New Orleans. We got AC in here. I see you, man. Peace to the gods. Long Island in this. All right, Kansas. Sanford, Florida. Okay. I see you, Sanford. I see you, Smyrna Beach. That's what's up. Chicago in the building. ATL in the building. Macon in the building. Strong Island in the building. Kansas City in the building. Killer City. I see you. That's what's up. That's what's up. Tampa Bay. The whole world is here. You know what I mean? Just to, put it in all. Houston. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to BK. Shout out to Georgia up in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Minnesota. Yeah. Peace to Houston. All right. All right. Peace to the good brother. Tampa Bay. All right. I see you, Tampa. Igor City. All right. I know about Igor City. Shout out to the Tampa Bay family. San Fran. I see you, San Fran. What it do? Town business. I see I had Too Short in the building last night doing it. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. By show of hands, how many people saw the 50th anniversary performance of hip hop at the Grammys? Right? If you didn't see that, go ahead and pause. Don't even pause. Yeah, put the volume down on this and go watch that. Go Google that shit. You know what I mean? Go watch that. That's a moment right there. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Computer saw class. AI, the AI. I ain't even touched that shit. That's the AI where Chat GPT working overtime. My niggas don't talk about Memphis. Look, yeah, that's Chat GPT working. I ain't even touching it. You know what I'm talking about? Look, mama, no hands. That's the AI, baby. That's the AI. You know what I'm saying? Shit, thinking the beat machine thinking for itself now. We in the future, baby. Nah, but see, even my beat machine agrees that performance right there, we could get all political about whatever we want to get political about. Look, they left Jay-Z out of the fucking performance. So all of the niggas that hate Jay-Z, now y'all won't even, you know what I mean? They took the excuse away from people enjoying that moment. So now you could go and enjoy that moment. That was a moment in hip hop. That was a moment in hip hop, right? I don't watch the Grammys. I saw the clips and whatnot. And I was seeing like little portions of the shit. You feel me? I was looking at little drips of it. And then today I saw it on YouTube and I saw the whole performance from beginning to the end. And I was like, oh, this is all right. I like the way that they kind of captured it. Although people will have their quote unquote conspiracies about who got left out of the cipher. You know, it's definitely worth the conversation. But I in a span of I think 13 minutes, they was able to cover different generations of the this 50-year culture. This culture is 50 years old. $50, my genius. You know, says a lot. I mean, it's even worth examining. But yeah, it hit its 50. You know, it's being celebrated for hitting its 50-year mark. If one were to look at the culture at its 50-year mark and do a diagnosis or a diagnostic, checkup on how things are looking these days, I don't know if it would pass with a flying, with all green checks. Not sure of that. But let me go ahead and open up the floor for my guest tonight. You already know what it is. Without any further ado, my brother, your brother, our brother, none other than Pope Pablo 44, Blue Pillar in the building.
Bang, 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 bang.
Peace to the family. Peace, love, and light. Yeah.
The God. Yeah. Don DeMarco.
Yes,
Peace
indeed.
to God.
Peace, God. I came in on the tail end, hearing your assessment, if you will,
No, sir, young man. This is the tail beginning.
Okay.
This is the beginning. I'm at the snout of the hog. I didn't even reach the tail. You know what I'm talking about?
All
This is
right.
me
Perfect
actually
timing.
warming up the campfire. Yeah. I'm definitely
Timing.
just yeah, perfect timing. What I did was I was letting the family know that if they didn't catch the performance, while I warm it up, they could go ahead and probably catch some pieces of it because I want them to have a context. I want
It
to
is
talk.
very hard to find, ironically.
Very hard to find. Right.
You
Definitely.
you can find God did in a lot of locations, but you gotta really know how to search to find that hip hop 50 performance. Real talk.
Right.
I don't know
Right.
why they're shielding it, but I had to dig. You feel me? Before I found that.
Matter of fact,
So
it was on Twitter is where I found it. It was on Twitter.
that's where you
The
have found
partner
it.
button of the AI, huh?
Yeah. My my baby, she found it on TikTok first,
Right.
last night. And I caught it on YouTube a little while ago after doing some extensive research. Like they're gonna find the Entertainment Tonight clips, and a lot of news people ran clips, but I had to deep dive to really find the whole performance.
Right. The full performance. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go and look for it right now. Oh, okay. I think I got it because it's still in my watch history. So I'm gonna drop it in the Chattington for the family, so y'all could get this right here. Here's your
yeah.
airdrop. Boom,
Somebody
bombs.
asks, what is the official birth date? The recognized birth date of hip hop is August 11th, 1973, 9 p.m., 1520, Sedgwick Avenue, Bronx, New York. That
BX
was the
baby.
day, the time of the party that Kool Herc threw for his sister Cindy.
Shout out to Cindy.
So yeah, shout out to Cindy, shout out to Kool Herc. That's the narrative that's being ran with, for the official recognizing of hip hop. Hip hop's origins are somewhat convoluted, just like the origins of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot of disputes. There's a lot of people that have different dates that they accredit. It's a lot of different people that they accredit to beginning hip hop, but the official narrative, the official story that they're using as the metric, as the measuring stick to gauge these 50 years from is August 11th, 1973, 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, Bronx, New York, 9 p.m. Party, party, party starts, and we
Yeah, that
still
would be
party and bullshit. And yeah,
that would be recognized as a landmark. That building right there. And
yes,
Bluefield did an
yes.
excellent, yeah, he did an excellent dissertation on the home of hip hop and that classic lecture that we did about 10 years ago, the Blueprint 322.
Um,
What?
Blueprint 322 was in 2009. I think that was more than 10 years.
Oh, damn, more than 10 years, 2009. My genius.
November 29th, 2009, Fort
Yes.
Greene Senior Citizen Center. Yeah, on Fulton Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, Best Star. Shout out to the Star. Shout out
Shout
to
out to the
Black Dot.
star.
Shout out to A. Rashid. Be Yourself, featuring Noble and Pooh with a guest appearance.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Made history that day.
a lot of, and I will, I broke down this strong in, and I watched a episode of Vlad because it had Flavor Flav on,
Oh,
and for
flavor,
some odd
flavor
reason, yeah,
practice. Right,
following my spirit, I was caught by the title, I think.
right.
So I watched the clip, and then the clip ushered in the whole episode, and I just was like,
Let
let
it
me just
go.
watch. Yeah, let me let it go, right?
I got a
And
Vlad confession after that, but go ahead.
yeah, so a lot of interesting history, tidbits. coming to the forefront. You know, the learning about the origins of things, and
Right.
also scratching my head. You know, to say, damn, yo, when they get on Vlad, they just want to volunteer so much information. He is the hip hop historian. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I can't go. You know, you could push back against it all you want. This nigga's
Right.
a leprechaun. He got something in his DNA that makes niggas like unzip
Right.
their history file and just reveal it to him. Whether they talking about criminality or their drug addictions or the beginning of things, they can't wait to tell us to this nigga. You feel me?
Right.
They can't wait.
It's something right. It's something going on.
I mean, like giving it up, bro. Like, here, take this tidbit. And let me tell you
Question
more.
is,
Like they
yeah, what would a
every
nigga
shit.
not say on Vlad? That's the $1 million question,
Yeah.
Matt. That's where the value is.
What would a nigga not say? So, um, and because he was so forthright, he was giving it up. You know what I'm saying? He was saying it was shit that he was saying and shit that he wasn't saying, or the way that he was saying and shit that he was saying. Like, yeah, this nigga Griff fucked the money. He was like, yo, we had to throw him overboard to keep the show going. You know what I'm saying? And book these dates.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah, he was
Got on
so
Vlad to say that
unapologetic.
too, right?
Yeah,
Avo-
he was so
Yeah.
unapologetic. Like dudes can't wait to go to Vlad and denounce anti-Semitism in front
Oh
of the
man.
dude who
Yeah,
who
that campaign is crazy right now.
who sat up there and said that Jews was a race. He don't even understand. Like, yeah, that's a whole nother story, bro. Like, dude don't even understand what he's involved with. So, yeah, but lo and behold, right? Again, in the hands of a genre, a culture, in the hands of young men who they themselves have not reached full maturity, who have been around the world a million times over and don't know world history at all. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Who are all crippled and saddled by different addictions, and the majority of these addictions being poverty of the mind. More so.
Right.
Yeah, was that automatic?
Yeah,
Um,
man. AI is acting shit its own.
so yeah, is hip hop is an interesting study case into the dynamics of melanated magic. You know what I'm saying? In the fact that in a 50-year span, once again, in the hands of children, they were able to spawn a multi-trillion-dollar genre that can arguably be looked at as one of the most powerful creations of the melanated mind to date, right? Um, Totally unmatured, even in his 50 years. You feel me?
Right.
Where we can't even really look at it yet and be like, it's reached a full maturity, and these are men in control, right? of a genre that is worth trillions of dollars. Um, Interestingly enough, for it to begin where it began as the tribute, and then for it to end where it ended, I think was very telling. The
Right.
fact that it ended with a little baby
And Gloria. Hallelujah.
in a glorilla. As because they made an emphasis to show the masculine and the feminine representation from the door. They was throwing it back and forward very
Right.
interestingly, but where it ended versus where it started, and you would notice, just like we noticed with the Kanye performance on February 22nd for the Donda, the music was off, the performances were slightly off.
Was it? I thought it was just me, but I was like, yo, they the lip syncing is a little off to me.
It was off, bro.
Oh, okay. So it was
It was
off.
off because, like, even with the it kind of, and interestingly enough, the confusion literally started where it started at with Grandmaster Cass and Melly Melanin.
Right.
right? That's kind of like where the confusion and the rivalry literally started in hip hop. It also played itself out on stage like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Then it went straight to Run DMC, and my dude DMC is still throwing the horns up. Like they ain't wake up out of the raising hell spell. Like, come on, B. Yo, the level of symbolism that was taking place at this Grammys, the way that they was throwing it up for Baphomet, son.
Yo, Reverend Rondo, can we talk about my dude didn't even know where he was at, yo. He was like
But I
oh
think
man.
that, again, that's very telling of the genre, period. That
Right.
nobody seems to know where they were at. You know what I'm saying? Like they had my dude LL with I mean,
I mean, come on, bro. I mean, the shit was a fashion show too. You know that, right? It was sponsored. It was all designer. Like it was literally a goddamn designer commercial. They had these niggas in either Gucci or some Fendi
or Louis.
or
Yeah.
some Louis. You know what I'm talking about?
Meth was repping.
And then Rakim, yeah, Rakim was the one who held it down. Rakim had on the Dapper Dan Gooch.
Yeah, yeah. At least he had the throwback. You feel me?
Yeah, he had the throwback.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody said exactly. Sponsored by Pfizer
sponsored by Pfizer. Bumble
and Bezelbub. Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
it was. I mean, like who was in charge of the lighting? Like who came up with that theme that the theme was gonna be black and red for the whole night? Like
Oh,
either you,
the whole award show was on that.
bro, the whole award show. Either you was all black, or you was red, or you had the spikes on the leather S&M joints,
The
right?
leather. Oh, niggas was pulling up with those.
Look, my lady said, look, they had Jill Biden even had her BDSM joints on, bro.
What the fuck? So everybody Balenciaga out now. Somebody
It,
said the Zesty Awards.
it was sponsored by Balenciaga, you know what I'm saying, and the Rainbow Coalition, because bro, yeah, it was the symbolism on this was next level. Like they let the cat out the bag.
It was going up, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They was letting it go. So
Somebody said Lil Uzi like a Pokemon character.
no, straight up.
I just want to rock, rock, rock. I just want to rock, rock, rock. Body yaddy yada. Yeah, yeah. I just want to rock.
I mean, he came out like
The Bart Simpson.
the
Yeah,
Bart
the Bart
Simpson, or
Simpson.
what's the Dragon Ball Z characters, or he was on that time. But yeah, all of it. It just for the switch up the gap where it started and where it went to. It was just like wow. You feel
Yeah.
me? It deserved a panel discussion after that. You just can't switch like that and just leave it in the hands of that to be like hip hop is in a good space. Yeah, they went from the LOX to, and then I had ironically, um, again, sometimes I be on my YouTube shit. I had caught the three-headed monster concert at the Apollo. They had the whole joint on YouTube.
Word?
Yeah, so I was watching it. It was a Jada Kiss for Finance. They just put it all on his shoulders. And Mace.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Becca.
Yeah,
Mason.
the pastor put on like
I know the pastor was pulling up.
the pastor was busting his gun at the Apollo, and I forgot how many hits Murder had.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. Yeah, murder got hit. So just watching the lyricism of where Jaden through the eras because they was really just taking you through the 90s. You was like, damn,
Right.
the shit was barred up. The bar was high. Like you could not be in hip hop. You feel me?
Some half-ass
With
shit.
yeah, with some half-ass shit.
Trouble
And just
bars.
yeah, like just to see where it was at, just to see the non-emotionalism of Lil Baby. And I, as an artist or for what it's hitting for the most, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't really say that about the current crop of artistry that I hear from Little Baby, but being in Atlanta for a few years and seeing his ascension, you definitely see the graduation of his skill set. But now it just kind of stalled. Like the game need Gunna. That's the sorry part of it all. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? Yeah, this shit's sad, man. So just to see and literally like it's stalled, like the stalling of it.
Oh nah. Big
See?
stall.
Like
Big stall.
you
Stalwart.
yeah, little Glow Baby, Glorilla, then what's the boy name again? Oh, Uzi. I'm just like, nah, son. Yeah, how you after the legends? Bro, they
Right.
brought Daylight back out, bro.
Right.
For a
Plug
skit bit.
two. Right. Plug two. But
Yeah.
Quest Love put
What do
that whole thing together. That's
yeah. Questlove
a
put it together.
production. Right.
So
That's his curation of where the
yeah,
culture is.
we can't be critical per se, because at the end of the day, we in the bleachers, just watching this observation of whoever they have passed it, into the hands of for curation purposes. And
Right.
he had a monumental task in front of him. I think that he got it right initially in the beginning. But as members of the cultures, as card carrying members, I think that we all reserve a right to some level of critique because we're part of the culture. So I'm just like, damn, I'm not averse to saying that there's no future to it, but I'm just like, you could have rehearsed that just a little bit better for the sake of, what I'm saying, leaving it where it's left. They carrying the torch in the 50th year. Like, throw Kodak up there at least.
Right. Where was the Z? Yeah, where was the Z? But look at the sad part about it though. If not for Takeoff being murdered, right? The Migos would have definitely remember that was the Beatles. Remember they put that challenge out there and nobody could match nobody. Niggas was quiet after that. They was like, we the new Beatles. Whoever wants smoke, what up? And this was before verses, and it was Pipsqueak. Somebody said, what about Kendrick Lamar? Right.
I mean,
What
yeah,
about
that's a given.
about J. Cole?
Kendrick Cole,
What
know what I'm
about Drake?
saying?
Even to that degree?
But again, we didn't see no Nasir, we didn't see none of that. But that rests on the shoulders of Questlove. We don't know what went into the decision making. Again, this is Monday, quarterbacking at the water cooler, and we reserve a right to do that. Like I said, as card carrying members, all of us of hip hop, we can ask these questions. Just like, damn, son, if you're putting this on a national forefront, in the face of Shaitan, like you could have put on one hell of a show. You know what I'm saying? But that the hell part they got right, in the beginning, the show part they got right. So it was one hell of a show up in hell. They was in Jadena, like I said, the first layer, hell on earth. You know what I'm saying? But
And
yeah, man.
The richness, though, I don't mean to cut you. It speaks to the richness and the diversity and the depth of value that the culture has. Because we could throw out mad names and they will all make sense. And it's like, all right, where Master P in them at? Where's anybody from Cash Money at? You feel me? Like, if we're gonna cover the bases, where's 50? Like, where's anybody from? He changed the he's an era changer. Where's fucking Ye, bro?
Yeah, He brought
to
out
keep
Nelly. There was no
yeah,
Chicago artist
no
represented. Not
Chicago
too many
artists. So we didn't get Common,
representation
right?
other
Blue.
than Nelly. Yeah.
We didn't get Twister.
Um, we didn't get Twister. We got an extended version of Buster. You know what I'm saying? And that was incredible artistry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, but again, it is what it is. We got what we got, and that's
got
what we
what we
got to
got.
live with. Said that there would be something that more extensive at another point.
Oh yeah, they said no Nicki Minaj. That was a big thing. You know what I mean? There was like no Foxy, no Kim, and no
No
Nicki,
Foxy, no Cam, no
no
Nicki.
Cardi.
I like you could have put Cardi instead of Glorilla, in my perfect opinion. But
And
once
mine
again,
too.
yeah, we Monday night quarterbacking at the water cooler. But as fans, we would have loved to see this. I'm sure at some point, Questlove will have the opportunity to explain himself, and I'm
Right.
looking
No
forward to
Lauren.
hearing that. You know what
No
I'm saying?
Lauren.
Lauren would have been powerful.
Lauren would have been
You know,
powerful, fam. There's no such
you know
thing
what I'm
as too
saying?
many superstars. You know.
Yeah, but they got time limits, and those people had it set. Jay-Z had an 8-minute goddamn song, like so. Jay had to get his 8 minutes of sitting down rapping. You feel me?
At the
So
right.
that's a whole
Captivate.
nother conversation. Yeah, at the Last Supper, you know, the question of all questions that my lady asked, and I'm wondering was who was Judas in that picture?
Right.
Yeah,
Right. 8 minutes. That it was at that point I realized that verse was too long. I'm like, damn, wrap that
at
up,
that point,
homie. At that point,
like
I'm like,
the
homie,
cliffhanger
come
was
on.
like at the fourth, minute,
You
especially
feel me?
sitting down. Like, come on, that's mad anticlimactic, homie. That shit is too long.
I was like, you
You
so
feel me?
disrespectful, ho, with the
You
sit
so
down on the 8 minute
disrespectful,
clip,
man.
nigga. You
You
can't move
overshadowing
around and
everybody else.
walk
Yeah,
us through that time. You feel me?
come on.
I was like, nah, we ain't. I ain't doing this. Ain't doing this. It has no
You know what I
replay
mean?
value. Yeah,
Yeah. So it was kind of crazy. You feel me? It was kind of crazy, man. But that's what they ended up with. Did you see the Unholy performance? The dude that came out with 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 the hat and horns and everything and the
what's his name?
LGBT Sam Smith.
Nah, I didn't see that. Pause.
Yeah.
I ain't see that. Yeah, I don't. I don't watch shit like that.
Interestingly, because
I
this
know
ties
Chat
into when it
GPT. Give me a summary. I dropped the link in Chat GPT. Get the summary. I don't watch that.
no, this ties into When in Rome 3. The song is named
Okay.
Unholy, and
Right.
Sam Smith and his co-star to perform with him is a
Right.
transgender,
Transformer. Right.
and the song was a rebuttal or rebuking of the church. So they did
Right.
it,
Right.
and it's interesting to say, all right, because even this whole thing about Hollywood and the fact that Hollywood is made up of different subsets of misfits and things of that nature, and Luciferians and Satanists, they're saying that we're not accepted by the church. So, you know, this is the crew that we bang with. This is who we F with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We
Right.
we, we give all hails and praises to Shaitan because we don't fit into the church's dynamic. Interestingly enough, the conversation in the church right now, especially because of the comments that Pope Francis made last week, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Trying to lift the sword up.
said it wasn't a crime, but he also said that he didn't say that it wasn't a quote unquote sin.
Right.
So his half stepping has increased the pressure on him from his critics, right? They're at his neck, they're at his throat right now, forcing him, right, to make a proclamation and a clear statement because they're saying that he's making a very confusing statement. Not only the statements that he makes, but the people that he has put in position um, for in charge of this the synod, the German synod is coming up. What they call Vatican II in October, which is them reforming or looking at the rules of the church and deciding whether there's going to be a reformation in the church or not. And the
Mm,
main issue of the reformation in the church is dealing with homosexuality and recognizing marriage amongst gay couples, and also, of course, the abortion topic, of which, as you've seen, they want now they're saying that they want political, or they want pressure on the politicians who come down, who consider themselves Catholic, such as Joseph Biden himself.
right,
You know what I'm saying? This is where religion and politics become strange bedfellows,
right,
because religion and politics are pretty much immersed with one another. But because of politics, people that have adherence to particular religions, such as Catholicism, they have to be in line with the church's position on abortion. They
right,
have to be aligned with the church's position on marriage, and these politicians are not. So they're utilizing the bully pulpit of the Vatican to put pressure on these politicians, right, to come
right,
into alignment with the church once again, and all hell
right,
is about to break loose. You
right.
feel me? All hell is
My
about to
question is
break loose.
this, right? If the sitting pope is planting these breadcrumbs about, softening up is he not softening up the blow to the which would which would definitely give you the feeling that he may flip the script when it comes down to that vote and legalize, you know, this whole with the
Yeah,
government.
yeah. Hmm?
No, I'm saying it's looking like he's about to flip the script in a sense. It's looking like he's about to do something very controversial.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, again, this is what they're trying to explain to him. The Pope,
Right,
the Vatican is split in two, right? I keep explaining to you. There's a sect that are conservatives that was banging out with Pope Benedict,
right,
right? Who are the traditionalists who said that they don't cater to nobody mind business, right? They're the hardliners. They're
right.
conservatives.
Far
They
right.
represent, yeah, they're super Piscean.
Right.
The and now you have,
The Aquarian
right,
Pope.
you have the woke Pope, who's an Aquarian Pope. In the season of Aquarian, he is getting very Aquarian and Uranus in his dispositions of saying, I want to make these changes that's going to be in alignment, right, with this Uranus period, this Aquarian period of going into Pluto for these 21 years, where everything is about to change. He's an astrologer. He's like, we have to change with the times, or we're going to be destroyed from our foundation. It's not going to make the shift. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We get washed up by this next generation that's coming in, that,
Right.
as he can observe and he's seeing, whether he's reading the stars or they're taking, the temperature and the pulse of the rest of the world. Remember, he comes from Latin America. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Yeah.
look, this shit changing. And if you don't change with it, it's gonna roll you over. It's gonna destroy us as a foundation. And they're like, we can't allow you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna upend everything that the church stands for. Because the underlying aspect, especially of Catholicism, is suppression of sexuality, whether it
Right.
is the feminine aspect of it, you feel me, or the station of marriage. I find it very hypocritical, though, that once again these rules are coming from people who are not married and then supposedly are not having sex.
There you have it.
You know what I'm saying? And then the reports come out that they have an entire a gay secret society inside of the Vatican, where these niggas is in hot tubs with one another and all types of shit, laying up in bed and doing all sorts of sacrimonious activities. And these are the people who are responsible, once again, for setting down canon law, which at some point, becomes law in politics, right?
Right.
Because religion dictates all politics. And this is what there's a particular there was a cleric who went rogue in the Vatican,
Okay.
right? Sent them to DC when when uh when what you call it came in. Francis came in, right?
Right.
Bishop Vigano, okay? They sent him to DC because remember, Vatileaks was the real reason, allegedly, of why Benedict had to go because he wanted to check the books. All right. The
Right.
Vatican is a sovereign nation with a sovereign bank. Okay.
Yep.
So they have a
How can they
closed
go
banking
for that?
system. They showed you this in Godfather 3,
Facts.
right? Where the mob was utilizing the church to run all of their drug proceeds from through. Okay.
Fact.
So in real life, the same thing takes place. So they were auditing the Vatican, and he came in and he attempted to reform it. He sent this dude to DC to overlook the diocese out there, and he got in good with all of the politicians and also got in good with all of the bankers. And he found out the fraud was going deeper than ever. So he went rogue. His name is Archbishop Vigano. You know what I'm saying? And he's like a QN, and you know what I'm saying? He's not even woke. He's a
Right.
deep end conspiracy, right? He talks about
Right.
the deep state and the deep church.
Yeah.
Those are two things that are intertwined. Again, into the fullness of this and When in Rome 3, make sure that you go to ktluniversity.com and get your tickets. Ironically, it's a week from today, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and this particular archbishop that went rogue says that the reason initially for this whole world war is, once again, as they've been saying, he's like, yo, um, Putin and them, they're not going with the Western agenda, and the Western agenda is dealing with acceptance of homosexuality.
Right.
Right. I'll read something. He said the letter was the second defense of Russia's invasion to be floated by a prominent churchman in recent days. In a sermon on Sunday, Patriarch Kirill of Moscow, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church and an ally of Putin, repeated a long held contention that the West wants to enforce the practice of holding gay pride parades as a test of loyalty to its values, which include the acceptance of homosexuality. The Ukraine war, he says Sunday, resulted from the eastern regions refuses to acquiesce. So again, they have all of these different reasons for why they saying that that war, which ultimately will spawn the next world war, is being fought. They're like
Right.
straight up, the reason why the Eastern Orthodox Church has separated from the Vatican is because the Vatican has pretty much kneeled and kowtowed to the Western influence of making
Right.
them, what I'm saying, accept this level
They took a
of
knee.
these
Right.
woke politics that are coming in this Aquarian age by way of the LGBT, which this other dude, the Archbishop, says all of this is dealing with leading to transhumanism. Same
Mm.
thing that I've been saying. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, um, yeah, we gonna get into it, and we'll show the receipts and everything that we have been proselytizing and pondering on. There's definitely enough receipts at this particular point in time to show that these are some interesting times that we're in. And these are where these narratives are moving, and these are the things that will ultimately become the undoing of the church, or force a transformation of the church, which still ultimately will lead to its undoing, because y'all gonna put like a rainbow shawl around God.
Right.
Huh?
Y'all gonna get his eyebrows done.
Yeah, yeah. So this will be the coming out ultimately for Jesus that the world's been waiting for, to be
Oh
like,
man,
yeah, that nigga
crazy.
Peter had something.
That's
You feel me?
crazy. I could see them doing some foul shit like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, the great reset, okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, the great reset, okay. So yeah, they, what I'm saying? The shit is gonna flip, it's gonna flip shit on his head, in this 21-year period of Aquarian, you know, any which way that you look at it,
Right.
it's gonna be some weird ass transformation. So,
Well,
even what Madonna was saying again, because she did an introduction for that performance,
right.
right? And again, you got to really listen to what these people are saying because they're telling you straight up,
Hmm.
right? This is where they're going with their level of them being the defiant ones. Who are they defying? They're defying the church in this particular, current paradigm as it exists. They're like, we don't fit into this shit, so this is what we've created outside of it. You know what I'm saying?
They're
This
like
is
the
the
they're
cathedral.
like the Protestants.
Yeah, this is the cathedral that we all belong to as the misfits and the outcasts of the Catholicism that is suppressive and repressive of sexuality to begin with. So we just gonna get on our pansexual shit. You feel me?
Right. Right.
And at the same time, yeah, tap into adrenochrome and everything else that goes along with it, partner.
Right.
So yeah. So
So,
that whole, the whole
look,
Grammys was a homage. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The whole
Beyonce, yeah.
shit was a homage.
And she did,
The
and
whole
they did
shit,
not
bro.
in Chicago, Detroit, where that was invented. That wasn't only invented by those people. Like
Yeah,
house
that's a
music,
disrespect.
you feel me? That's electronic disco. That was not invented by. That was invented by the city of Chicago and the people of the D. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, you laying it out, and I didn't see it the whole show. Like I said, I was watching clips of it, but I'm definitely about to go tune in and look at it through those lens now because I just you already explained what the agenda is, so now I know what I'm looking at. I'm gonna just scoop on in there and be the observer. But yeah, man, shit.
It, so it's the world is what it is, man. It's just a very undifferentiated place if you don't know who the players are. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Because it's like, boom. Well, if that's the God of the church, I don't want to be in them churches either. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, do I want to be involved what's going on in the basement or behind the church that Madonna and them is involved with? Nah, I don't want no parts of
right,
that shit at all. So where do
right,
you end up? Where's your solace? You know what I'm saying? Where do you call home
right,
outside of all of this?
right.
Because yeah, you gotta throw all of this shit in the fire at the end of the day.
You feel
In my
me?
humble, but that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So whew,
was it just me, or was the Dr. Dre shit kind of off?
I didn't see the Dr. Dre.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
didn't
see
see
that though.
Dr. Dre? Okay,
Nah,
okay.
I seen
Yeah,
I seen a clip advertising something about it, but I
you
didn't I didn't
gotta.
go into it.
So check it out. Right, this is
Yeah.
what we talking about. How they do. How history is written. You know, and they'll change shit right in your face. So they got an award called a Dr. Dre Award, but it's basically an icon award, and it's also an award where they're celebrating people for their philanthropy and their contributions that they've, how they've benefited the world with their art and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So he's the first recipient of that prize. It bears his name, and his speech. I was just reading the body language a little bit, you know. I don't know. It was something just wasn't. It was something was it just it had my
Can't play it.
antennas. He looked a little off, a little bit.
Can't play. You can't pull it. Everybody looked somewhere a little bit off. You know.
Oh yeah, can I play? Let me see. I can play it.
You know. Everybody looked a little bit off. You know.
Let's talk about. I don't want to jump right into it, but the Jay Prince shit, man. We gonna build up to that.
A little bit off. Yeah, a little bit off. But yeah, you know, again, a perfect snapshot of the culture because that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you look at the embodiment of the culture, once again, hip hop turns 50. There was artists on that stage that literally embody the beginnings of it all the way up until now. They've carried it. You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Cash was still on the stage. Grand Wizard, not Grand Wizard Theodore. Who was it? Flash was on the stage. You know what I'm saying? DJ Jazzy Jeff, LL, Run DMC. Like, these people are still alive.
Right.
So all of the education or the miseducation, all of the wins and the losses, you know what I'm saying? Once again, yeah, was Missy a clone? Who knows? You don't even know whether that was her or not. She wasn't moving the same. She was 1/3 the size of Missy, you know. Yeah, you know.
They had an aneurysm not too long ago, right? Had an aneurysm. So
he did.
He did.
All right. Yeah,
he's like a survivor and shit. You feel me? Allegedly. You know, if it is what it was, he's like a survivor type shit. Cause whatever they removed, he went into a coma or something. Am I correct?
Was he in a catacombic state at some point or something?
It was bad at one point.
Yeah, I remember hearing he had an aneurysm right around the time that his wife was leaving.
Right around that time. Let me play this clip.
All right, let's see.
Shit, yeah, man, that was kind of creepy to me when I saw it. I was like, is it just me or is something off?
Damn.
You know what I mean? I'm like, something is off, bro. This ain't the Dr. Dre that I know. I like to see people healthy and everything. I'm like, this ain't the Dre this ain't the Dre I remember. Did that go ahead.
They say he had an aneurysm, but he also performed at the Super Bowl last year. So
he surely did.
Yo, they said he sounded like the father of BMF.
Charles, yeah, Charles is a running joke in my house right now. Charles is a legend.
Charles is a legend.
Charles was smacking bellies last episode, boy. Nigga said that was Eric Adams.
It's like a cross between Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry.
You feel me? You feel me?
Hey, come on, son.
This nigga, doctor.
So let me ask you something, right? A round ball. So that was Tubi, Dr. Dre. a round white ball in the sky, right? Or a round white disc in the sky. Is that not a euphemism for moon?
Yes, it is.
And did that balloon not come from China?
Allegedly.
And was I not telling you during those lunar ceremonies that took place 2 weeks ago that they were ritualizing Chinese lunar energy with the number 44, which means war?
Yes, you did.
Okay. We can cook in a proper setting because I ain't been off yet. I will admit, though, the only thing that I said that hasn't come into fruition, I said that they was gonna cook Kanye in in the season of Capricorn, and Jay would make an appearance. And Jay did make an appearance with the Tory shit. Now everybody's blaming everything. They blaming the egg prices on Rock Nation too. But yeah, Kanye just got married. So he's still with us. So anything and everything outside of that, god damn it,
Right.
I've been spot on. Um, yeah, I
Right.
think the people is gonna be creating a theater of conflict, definitely before the end of spring.
You don't find that suspicious? You know, they doing that right now. I mean, they're not on overdrive, but they're building up.
Bro, they don't over. This is cheap. This is a lazy way to do it too.
Super facts. Super facts.
Feel me?
It's a lot of distractions.
This is a lazy way
Trump,
to do it.
yeah, I see Trump coming back on the in the timeline. He's inserting himself into the timeline or into the intention cycle.
Oh yeah, he needs some of that attention. He coming for his.
He's definitely coming for his, you know.
He's coming for his. Yeah, so
He shot the balloon down with a missile from a plane too. You don't find that suspicious? They couldn't just take it down with a little drone or something?
interestingly enough, right? Because they said that they wanted to maintain the payload. Why shoot it down with a missile? They wanted to protect people from underneath it, but it was going over farmland. But you blow it up over the Atlantic Ocean, and you said that that was more secure for you to retrieve the payload over the ocean,
And they got all the way to the Carolinas?
allegedly.
You don't find that suspicious.
And
You don't find that
they
suspicious.
observed it coming into the U.S. airspace 5 days prior through Alaska. So it ain't like they ain't know about it. And they said that it's been 5 times previous to this where they have observed weather balloons. So this pattern has already been known that this is what they do, and they float them.
Wow.
But you allowed it, they allegedly allowed it to come all the way over Montana and park over the silos, what you call it, repository. And there was a second one, yeah, in Latin America. Yeah, bro, a week after you publicize that the general says that y'all gonna go to war in 2025, who leaked those documents? Who put that to the press? That's supposed to be classified. Why would you telegraph, right, a move such as that and allow that document to become headline news as if only people over here read the news? Come on, son. I mean, this shit is getting crazy.
Yeah.
This is
They slow at the wheel, bro. Let's talk about this Jay Prince thing and we're gonna wrap it up. All right. Once again, here's where the Scorpios come into play, right?
Scorpio,
whenever
Gemini. Let's be clear, because even in Memphis, that's a Scorpio Gemini situation. The young man was a Gemini, right? He was
Right.
born what 6'5",
Right.
6'5", 93, the same day as Breonna Taylor. I believe that June 6th is Gemini,
Yes, it is.
right? Because May 21st or May 20th begins Gemini. Rest in peace to Biggie. So June 5th would be, or June, all of that beginning of June is Gemini energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I said that there's this very weird connection dealing with scorpionic energy in Gemini. I've been speaking about this
Yes,
since
we
the
have.
situation with Takeoff, right? Because he's a Gemini who got killed by some scorpions or around some scorpions on October 31st in Houston, of all
Halloween.
places.
Right.
Right. So continue.
So there's an interview that took place with Gilly and Wallow, millions dollars worth of game that came out the same day of the Grammys, where they were interviewing Jay Prince and Jay Prince Jr. I
Right.
believe they may have been in Houston, Texas.
Right. But they're from the Scorpionic city of Philly that was incorporated October 25th. Okay. Yeah.
Right, right. So, just the whole tone of the conversation, and then at the end, there was a open threat made to Offset, right? Based off of the way that he's handling the tragedy of losing his family member, you know, who was supposed to be protected by this family. All right. So of course there's a lot of tension and whatnot. And I just want to talk about, a lot of people were looking at the hypocrisy of $1 million worth of game because they are known to preach positivity. They're known to, Wallow is known to speak up to, the BS and whatnot, like he's done with Little Dirk and a few other people. But in this situation, they provided a platform for a grown man to
A father.
publicly, a father as well, right, to publicly threaten a surviving member of a group that is, or that was already in turmoil, and to basically, while the family is still grieving in a sense, have, like throw rocks at the whole goddamn situation. Like that was weird to me. That was weird.
So what's the question?
I just wanted to know from your perspective, you know, I wanted to know your perspective on that whole situation.
Um Again, it almost speaks to the embodiment of hip hop in its 50th year. Like I said, um 50 years old but still very much a child. You know what I'm saying? Jay
Right.
Prince, who said, I got more money than I can spend. So an accomplished businessman, an accomplished, member of hip hop. He's made his contribution to the genre. He's cut his teeth in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He's a father, but very much a child himself.
Mm,
In terms of the his emotional intelligence is not that of somebody who's 50 plus years old. If you uh made it through an entire interview, you already dry snitched and used the platform to out somebody else and to make
right.
a case against this person on a public platform, and utilize your position of outing rats to say that this person that was put into a position because they was literally calling for the head and the neck of this individual and making a public
Right. Bounty.
for it. Not so much a bounty, but they were
Making a
they
case.
was making a case. They was using that platform,
Right.
you know what I'm
To
saying,
build a defense.
right, to turn tables.
Right. By
Well, at
saying that the
the
fault
time,
was on
yeah,
family
saying
members.
that, yeah, we we grieve with the family. We're here for the family, but I guess only specifically, Quavo's mama. That's Quavo's brother, though, that you're trying to throw under the bus. I guess they got
Right.
different parents or what have you, but that's still a loss of life potentially that you're leading to with a member of his family, and then another member of his family, which is his group member. I forget his cousin is Offset. Then you're
I believe
making
so.
a shielded threat towards him. So this is called chess at the end of the day. You know what the game of chess is? I got this nigga Quavo neutralized because of my relationship with Q, right? He's in pocket,
Right.
or P, should I say, right? Right. We got him in pocket. This nigga's taking uncomfortable pictures with little baby in them. We got him where we need him,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the one who we always wanted, this nigga who thinks he's cute, because he got this relationship with this runaway motherfucking woman who we can't put under our thumb or put a leash on, right? You the one that we always wanted to make an example of. You
Right.
feel
He's the
me?
Sonny of the family.
Huh?
He's like Sonny and Godfather. He's the hothead,
Yeah. So
the wild card.
yes, it's Offset. You know what I'm saying? Who I guess he has a mutual beef that P got and he got. So it obviously seems like they sitting around pillow talking about their mutual dislike or disdain for this person who they're saying
Right.
doesn't have protection cover. So
Right.
he's up there, you know what I'm saying, putting out dog whistles and gaslighting situations
Right.
that doesn't really make much sense when you make such a public proclamation like that. So if anything happens to Offset, automatically it's gonna come back to you.
Mm.
And other than the fact that if you were scared, then you was making it public to make sure that if something happened to
If
you,
something happened.
it came
Right.
back
Right.
to
Right.
Offset. But
Yeah. Right.
that's not
Yeah.
in alignment with the tough guy character that you present yourself as. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it
Right.
was it was a very weird situation. And then for them, Gilly and Wallow to be quiet because this all happened at the end of the interview,
Right.
and then they put ad-libs on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
it's like that. It's like, why you gonna put gas on top of that? You de-escalate the situation like that rather than saying it is what it is. So be it. You know what I'm saying? Like that proclamation gets made on your platform. If something carries through and there's any harm that's brought to this man who is grieving the loss of his family member, whether they had beef or drama or not, you think that
Right.
that's something that rests well with him? That his kinfolk died in a situation where he wasn't being protected and he was out of the bounds of his protection because they was going through something, but he knows that this thing is being manipulated by characters in the music industry that's not really family, but then they manipulating and using these people like chess pieces because of money and contracts.
Hmm.
You feel me? So this is some weird shit. And once again, these are the things that are enraptured and entailed with the business side of the music industry of what hip hop has manifested itself as in these 50 years, where these melanated men have come into this aspect of power and have done no better than their overseers when it comes to
Right.
the business. Why the business corrupted them in this particular way, where yeah, the 50th anniversary has to be overshadowed by some goddamn Satanism,
Mm.
right? What is this shit amounted to for real? Where's the power at, right? If grown men of this particular level and stature can't have dignified conversations because of the loss of life, right? Where you can't see, no, you can't take no responsibility as a man supposed to do, as a father supposed to do, as a responsible member of our community, to know that there was things that was done that was wrong on your behalf. You can't change the things that was done wrong on the behalf of other individuals, but you also can be the godfather, the father of fathers, the big homie of the culture, to be like, this is how we're gonna deal with it, and we're gonna do with it, we're gonna deal with it different. But making veiled threats,
Right.
underhanded, undercurrent veiled threats on a public platform, nah, that's some goofy shit.
Hella
That's
goofy.
that's hella goofy, yo. That's hella goofy.
Yeah, hella goofy. When I saw that, I was like, hell nah. They out here doing stupid shit like that. Well, you said a lot, brother. You know what I mean? You said a mouthful. And I'm in total agreement. And you know, as the world turns, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You
Somebody
know,
said they was
and
cracking
again,
satanic, mhm,
it was what?
cracking satanic jokes live on air and not even hiding it.
Yeah, it was wild. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely wild. Hip hop deserves better. It deserves to be in a cleaner forum. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And we gotta let its light shine through instead of it being consumed and
Sideshow.
engulfed, and that, yeah, being a sideshow and that atmosphere, with people who have clearly made their decisions once again because they said that they don't fit in, they don't feel accepted by the church, and I don't blame them in that regard. But the other side of the coin is not shaitan. You feel me? The other side of the coin is not Satan, my nigga. Because both of them gonna end up in the same place. You're gonna see the motherfucking people from the church. That's why the preacher's like, he died and went to hell. So that ain't the answer either. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Hmm.
Both of them are you know, both of them, both of those particular institutions, you know what I'm saying, pretty much are
Yeah,
conjoined, and those roads lead to the same place. So all roads lead to winning Rome 3, y'all. Next Monday, we're gonna deal with this in a responsible manner. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And
yes,
we're gonna
yes.
lay some things out. And again, at the end of the day, even for us being in our prime state, I'm not responsible for nobody's soul salvation. I can't tell you, point you where to go. I can only lay information out. You know what I'm saying? I can only share with you what our research has shown to us. You feel me? I do
Right.
care enough about you though, just to point some of these things out that you may be either unaware of or ignoring, but the writing is definitely on the wall. And it's very interesting because it does have direct connections and correlations to out the world that we live in. Religion and politics go hand in hand. And if you've been able to exist in this lifetime without being affected by politics, then I should be sitting down in your class and taking lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But yeah, all of this stuff, in the weirdest of ways, you feel me, continues to surface and affect us in ways in which, we will hope that it doesn't, but it does. And our children are in the audience. Our children are now, the desired demographic that the stuff is being marketed to. Feel me? I mean, Madonna went from being indicted for,
Child trafficking.
child trafficking and improprieties to middle finger and all of that, and saying, yo, the evil doers and the disruptors and all of y'all, you know what I'm saying, who's gang with us, yeah, this is for y'all. Like, we got a whole program. Yo, the defiant ones are defiant, bro. They raising their flags, and you know what I'm saying? All roads lead to Phoenix. Uh, this is gonna be, it's gonna be an interesting Super Bowl, to say
Oh
the
yeah.
least.
Oh yes. It's building up. For everybody who's been spinning the playlist that we put out there for the God Hop 23. Matter of fact, this is the sponsor of the show tonight. We put that right there. God Hop 23. Let me get the flyer. And that is on Spotify. The link, I just dropped the link in the chat. I'll drop it again. But if you want to hear, I believe it's about 120 songs. We may be talking about 7 hours of some powerful, laid back, calm, meditative, heavy bars, a display of our genius by our luminaries in this community. All right. The Lizzie Jeffs of the world, the Cambadas, the Cyrocs, the Twin Pillars, the Free Souls of the world, the A.A. Rashids of the world, and many others. We have a playlist on Spotify, God Hop 23. If you stream on Spotify, go ahead and pull that up. Make sure you follow the playlist. We do updates on it on a weekly and a bi-weekly basis. All right. You'll be able to get your song up there one day. You know what I'm talking about? Heavy bars. Yeah, heavy bars. We doing heavy bars. And yesterday, speaking of heavy bars and powerful pens, yesterday was a very milestone moment in my life. I got to meet one of my heroes and it didn't disappoint. They say don't meet your heroes. There's been a brother who I've been listening to since I was a youngin'. The good brother by the name of Big Rube from the Dungeon family. I've been
Or
I've been sitting at the feet of his pen
he's a
for
legend.
decades. Yes, he's fed me in Blue,
Yeah,
a poetic
definitely.
plate of
Oh yeah.
food.
So I
Mhm.
really I want to talk about the omissions, the notable omissions when it came to these groups. No Andre and Outcast,
Yes,
right?
the Woo was
Who else
only
was
one
missing?
Woo.
Only one Wu Tang.
De La
No Spencer,
Soul.
right?
Yeah,
No Eric Beef with Rakim, and he remixed the
right.
lyrics.
And he remixed it too. Yup. No Eric. Damn. The
You feel
DJs
me?
didn't get no love. No, even with LL, instead of saying his DJ, he shouted out another DJ.
Jazzy Jeff. Yeah. He
Yeah,
sent it to Jazzy.
had to give it up to he had to give it.
The
Yeah, I'm
Fresh
like,
Prince with Jazzy Jeff.
fuck, what happened
You
to
know what
the
I'm saying?
DJ? Questlove, out of all people, you would think Questlove would have really brought the DJs with him.
So yeah, the omissions were powerful.
They were.
Once again, to see where hip hop has gotten to, it's left a lot of people behind, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Things have not ended how they began. And this whole aspect of everybody can't go was really on display.
mm,
You feel me?
man, that's a fact. Woo, that's a word right there.
And
I'm gonna
and
leave that on
in the
that.
summary, yeah, in the summary, even at the end with that whole song, because I'm not familiar. Yeah, Buster did have splits with him. He had Splish Star. Shout out
Yeah,
to
Split
Splish.
for them. Right. Shout out to Split.
Ain't got to leave
Hope
till the next
alive.
though, but that's the story. Um, this omission or deleting of Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that familiar with the with the industry charges against him.
Right.
Them changing, switching him out with the Eagles, right? For Little Uzi Vert song.
That's what they did. They bumped him.
Yeah. Yeah, they switched out. I want to rock.
How little Uzi got so little I want to rock
That
as they
song.
official.
Yeah, he
Damn.
was at the brunch. Meek Mill wasn't at the brunch. They clearly taking shots at him on God did. You feel me? He's being omitted and erased out of the picture.
Right.
The bunny hop, yeah, he ain't hop high enough with the bunny
Right. Yeah.
hops.
Yeah. They wasn't
So
pleased with that hop.
beware,
They like
yeah,
finish.
beware to all of our aspiring artists out there. Yeah, tap into that God hop playlist and understand it. there's bunny hops and all types of shit that come with the other.
Right.
Man, these people telling you who they are. So at the end of the day, man, there's no surprises. You can't even cry me Argentina for nobody if that's the decisions that they make. I know that this shit looks so attractive, and the glitz and the glam of it is, it's so appealing.
Right. But it is not it, bro. I promise you.
But yeah,
It is
man.
not it.
It's-
Yeah, and this week we're gonna be doing some shows on this AI leading up to the release of this course that I have, 40 AIs in a mule. All right. But
that part.
yeah, man, it's been wonderful with everyone in the building. We definitely hit the likes, hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and get your tickets over at KTL University for me and Blue Pillars third installment of this monumental series entitled When in Rome. All right, When in Rome.
Tree.
Tree. All three of y'all. I'm talking about all three of y'all. So yeah, we cooking up. You know what I mean? The great divine speaks through signs. If you pay attention every day since we announced this lecture, some shit been cooking up. Like it not one day has passed, and that's no cappington. I promise you. No cap, no kizzy. Not one day has passed since the announcement of this lecture, and something has not happened or occurred to fill up the slots of the lecture slots.
Yeah. I got overwhelmed. Like I don't post all day no more because every day I could post an article leading up
Right.
to it, but I'm like, this is becoming monotonous at this point. It's just too much. But
Right.
the Vatican has been active. It just
Yeah.
came back from the Congo. It just came back from Sudan.
I ain't
You
seen them
know,
this active in years. You woke them
yeah,
up.
a
Oh,
lot of,
Pablo.
lot of activity.
The
They're in
Yoni
the
Rose
news
was
every
in the
day.
sky. Oh, the Yoni Rose was in Turkey, and then they just had the earthquake. Oh, it's snake. So the Yoni cloud, right? Because that does signify the earthquakes and whatnot. So the Yoni cloud was over Turkey. So yo, let me get some Yoni with that turkey sandwich. It was over Turkey last week, right? And then this week they have a 7.8 earthquake. Hold on. Oh, my voice.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't
Yeah.
find that suspicious?
And that was devastating. If any of the family is out there in Syria or Turkey or any of those regions in the Eastern blocks or what have you, you know, um, yeah, man, shout out to y'all. Stay safe. You feel me? It sounded like something that I wouldn't want to ever experience.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Self. So yeah, man, it's a lot of things going on the planet. Ugh. And they had an earthquake in Buffalo too.
Rough buff?
Yeah, yeah. They had
Damn.
one up north.
God damn. Buffalo can't get a break, fam. I think
Nah,
Freddie Gibbs did that to Buffalo. Nah, listen, man. Ever since, bro, Buffalo, there's been back to back to back. That's another. Buffalo wasn't in the news like that. It wasn't on. It wasn't on the time. It wasn't out. They get hit. They got the blizzard. They got the shooting.
ever since they killed some people, ever since the shooting,
Right.
which was the same day, ironically, remember, the same day that they put
But
hands on Freddie Gibbs, same day as the massacre.
right, the same day that they whooped them out in the restaurant was the same day of that massacre, and it was a moon. Correct? That was
Yeah,
that a,
the blood.
that was the blood moon, right?
Yeah, it was around the time that they took down YSL. That was a Scorpio blood moon in
The
May. It
Scorpio,
was a
yeah,
full moon. It was an eclipse. Yeah,
and he did it on
It was
Twitch.
a
My
blood
niggas
moon.
went live and caught 10 bodies on Twitch and put out a manifesto that they don't want to tell you about. Crazy. And he pleaded guilty because if it went to trial, it would have opened up mad cans of worms.
Mm-hmm.
Cases like that, if they don't get bodied, they just, hey, I'm guilty. Plead guilty. So I don't have to admit anything. You don't have to go investigate.
Yeah, they go up
Find out.
north and they're legend yard.
He go to the yard. He's a legend on the yard. And there was talk of a federal agent involved in radicalizing him in a chat room. You never heard about anything after that. When those situations come up, you don't find out who they're following. You don't find out who influenced them. They take their hard drives. You don't find out what the contents are. Like, what locker room are they hiding all of these niggas' computers in? That are these mass shooters and these people that go on these rampages? Because you don't hear anything afterwards.
Fact. Right. But when something happens and it's a melanated shooter, they give you their YouTube list, they give you their search list, they give you their whole history, and people getting visits, knock on the doors.
Facts.
Remember that. So yeah, we gotta, if somebody can change the trajectory of the green comet, did it come anywhere near Turkey and Syria? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, is that a factor that should be looked into?
Total lunar eclipse of Scorpio back then when that happened.
Yeah, that's when that massacre happened.
Yes.
So yeah, family, just be mindful, keep your eyes open. There's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? And more importantly, it's something going on inside of you that you need to be informed and aware of. So these are great times to get into your meditations. These are great times to still be sitting in silence and just getting in contact with you, having a better relationship with your inner self. You feel me? So you can make sense and discern all of these signs and these symbols, because these people working in overtime in the outer world. You feel me? It should really be time to tap into your inner world and your inner self. Get into that.
Super facts. So yes, indeed, we will see y'all hopefully on the 13th. Everybody in the building tonight, y'all should pull up, be in the building with me and Blue when we give our lecture exactly 7 days from now. Yeah, it's gonna be a great countdown these next 7 days. I could just imagine what the great divine is gonna manifest in the form of a headline or two. What type of prompt, what kind of negative prompts they're gonna put out, the universe is gonna put out there, and just create. It's gonna generate some shit that's gonna be I could feel it. I could feel it. I could feel the universe generating a humdinger.
Yeah. And they're gonna bring it home. They're gonna bring it home.
My hand is itching. So yeah, that part. Any announcements you want to make before we get out of here?
Winter Room 3, KTLUniversity.com. You know what I'm saying? That's what my focus is at. I'm putting together a masterpiece, so I expect to see y'all there. And yeah, let's get it all the way in.
That part. Yes, everything that this brother said, Winter Room 3. He dig. We might even be on a different grid at that date, at that day and time and whatnot. We might be on a whole different grid, charged up. So definitely tap in with us. And yeah, we'll see you then. I'm gonna leave y'all with the facts. All right. Love and light to the family. Peace.
Let's get it. Peace.
Facts. Okay,
so the food, the art, the clothes. We with this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Found out the hacks, put it in the rap. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. We in your city, pull up where we at.
and that's facts. though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a real floater, I do what I wanna. Stack in the winter, sunbathe in the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanc. Only pope we acknowledge a nigga is Pablo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, till in the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art in my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father the isfits, martyr the misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts, okay.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, till in the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back.